I'm AJ Barse.
And I'm Chris Powell.
And you've tuned into Bellingham Podcast Media Tech.
This is a special video where we're going to share our top personal technology recommendations for 2016.
Now, this is going to be a little bit different. So if you've tuned into the show, you know that we're an audio podcast here in Bellingham, Washington. But Chris and I wanted to do something a little bit special. We've decided to take our top picks of digital, analog, and software from 2016. And these are recommendations that Chris and I actually recommend because we actually use them. We actually spent our own money.
Our own cashola.
So this is non-endorsed, non-anything. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts. Just look for Bellingham Podcast Media Tech.
Or if you live in Bellingham, check us out on the FM radio 102.3 KMRE, low power.
Low power.
That's right.
So Chris, I think we can both agree, our joint pick from 2016 has gotta be this guy.
Yep, the Shure MV5 microphone. It's really a great quality microphone, really good price point, and it works on iOS devices because we use iPhones to record our audio podcast.
Yeah, so this mic is about $100 price point, comes in two colors. You got kind of the space gray and night black going on. Everything that you need to do to start your own podcast, or if you want to have a better Skype call and have better audio, or if you want to do video like we're doing today, this microphone is great. It plugs in via USB if you have a Mac or a PC, or it also comes with a lightning connector that can plug directly into an iPhone. So again, we use it every time you listen to Bellingham Podcast Media. Not that we're doing a shameless plug or anything.
We did the research, and boy howdy, this has been a pretty good solution for getting good professional quality audio for our podcasts.
Another thing that we really like about it is it has a headphone jack on this. So if you have the iPhone 7, you're able to monitor your own frequencies, as it were. And it also has a couple of what's called DSP, or digital signal processing on board. So if you want to have that sweet, low, sexy tone that Chris Powell has every time you hear him sign on, that's actually his voice. But this can also help you. It has a preset for that.
Thanks for the plug, man. Appreciate it. So I believe our mobile smartphones are our most important technological device, but they come with a fundamental problem: battery life. So let's sing along if you know the words. You're out and about, you have an important use for your phone, whether it be maps, or you're listening to some music, or you're trying to take some pictures of an important event, and you're down to low single digits of battery life on your phone. Well, say hello to my little friend. This is an Anker PowerCore Plus mini USB portable charger. It's about 15 bucks on Amazon. And it's very portable, and what it does is it can charge in about an hour and a half most any smartphone. It's very portable, very useful. I kind of view it as a 21st century gentleman's handkerchief. And single bachelors, I'm looking at you for this one. In case you happen to have a family or a friend or someone you're trying to impress that has low battery, that's almost having a phone that's going dead, you can offer this to help them charge their phone. About 15 bucks, Anker PowerCore Plus mini charger. It's my personal technology recommendation for 2016. How about you, AJ?
So if you follow me on my photography, whether it's on Instagram or if you're a Patreon patron, you know that my mantra is every moment has a story. Now, I love digital photography. I share my photography everywhere. But for me, every moment needs to be preserved. And what better way than on film? You heard me right. Film. This is a box of Instax film. It's made by Fujifilm. And if you're familiar with the Polaroid, shake it like a Polaroid era, this is gonna feel right at home for you. Fuji makes a wide range of cameras, starting anywhere from about 60 bucks on to $200, that are actual instant Polaroid style film cameras using this Instax film. Now for the more higher end, if you're a mobile photography aficionado, or if you're a pro like me, you might get something like the SP1 or SP2 made by Fuji. These are portable printers that run off of either lithium-ion or a USB power source. It allows you to print, you heard me right, print your photos back to film. So you start with a digital photo on your camera or on your smartphone, and you can preserve it back onto film. Like I said, Fuji has a wide range of offerings, anywhere from about $60 to $200. Take a look at Fujifilm Instax.
So even though I'm a technologist, I still have an analog life. I really enjoy using pen and paper to collect my thoughts, jot down some notes, or get a plan of action for my clients when I'm about ready to do some tech work. So for about 20 bucks, I found that the Retro 51 Tornado pen is a solid, smooth writing source that I've really enjoyed in this past year. It has a twist on, twist off activation, no dumb clicky, clicky, click, click stuff that annoys people around you. It has a very metal exterior. It has a little wider grip, so for my hands, I'm able to write a lot longer without getting a hand cramp with the typical Bic Slim style pens. You can go to their website. It's a very retro site, no pun intended, at retro51.com. And check out these Tornado pens. They are definitely a great writing instrument, and my pick for analog technology recommendation of 2016. Go for it, AJ, you're up.
Okay, so for my analog pick this year, I'm talking about watches. And no, I don't mean a smartwatch. No Android, no Apple. I'm going mechanical. So my personal analog pick for 2016, especially if you have somebody in your life that is into watches or wants to be into these mechanical watches, take a look at the Seiko SKX 007 or 009. It's a watch that's been around for several years now. It uses one of Seiko's tried and true movements. That's the thing that actually ticks the hands around the dial. What you get with this watch for $200, and you can usually find it a little bit cheaper than that. You get an ISO rated. ISO is a standard that says that this watch can literally go down to 200 meters. It's a diver's watch. So if you're a boater or if you like being out on the Salish Sea, you might want to take a look at this watch. It's meant to take a beating. It's a tool watch. You also, if you're a geek like me, you might like the fact that there's a community of modders around the SKX. You can find people around the world making parts for this that can be easily swapped out using a screwdriver and a handful of just standard tools. You can modify it for a GMT dial or some different hands. It's a really cool project watch for that gadget geek in your life.
So I worked with a lot of software in 2016, and one of the main needs I have in my digital life is my calendar, my appointments, my schedule, how to keep my workday and my weekend chaos free. I found, and I really don't ever use superlatives, but I have found the best calendar software application out there. It's by a company called FlexiBits, FLEXIBITS.com, and it's called Fantastical. And this is for iOS, so iPhone and iPad, and for Mac desktop. Doesn't matter if you're on Outlook, Google Calendar, iCloud, got a Facebook calendar, or a Yahoo calendar. Add any calendar you like, Fantastical doesn't mind. See, the magic occurs when you add appointments simply by using natural language. So for example, AJ owes me lunch, and we've made plans to visit a great Bellingham spot on New Year's Eve. As I type in all the important detailed information for our lunch, Fantastical automatically sets the event name, location, date, and time. I swear, every time I watch these fields autofill on my device, I get a shot of happy endorphins. See, there's no thumb flipping frustrations to set an accurate date and time. There's no tapping months to try to lock in the correct time frame. It's easy to invite email contacts if you want to invite them to an appointment. And if you have multiple calendars like I do, like personal, family, technology, work, etc., you can easily choose which calendar your appointment gets locked into. It's become ubiquitous in my life and is my go-to solution for my personal and professional schedules. You can learn more about Fantastical at flexibits.com. So what's your software recommendation, AJ?
So for software, anybody who knows me or follows me on Patreon knows that I'm a little bit anti-Adobe. So with that regard, one of the most common questions I get from patrons and friends alike is, what do I do about Photoshop if I don't use Adobe's Photoshop? So I got you covered. This last year, there's a company called Serif, and they made this awesome app called Affinity Photo. Affinity Photo was originally just for the Mac, but at the time of this recording, they're making it also for PC. So for Mac or PC users, for about 50 or 60 bucks, you can get Affinity Photo and have all the tools that you've always wanted from Photoshop without that Creative Cloud buy every month renting type of thing that Adobe seems to be doing these days. And what's great about Affinity Photo is that most of the tools and the icons that are in that app look very much the same, so you'll be right at home. And also they have a whole bunch of tutorial videos, so if you're brand new to photography, they have some videos right there at your fingertips that'll help you go through the movements of how to do some basic modifications of photo manipulation. So that wraps it up for this special video edition of BPM Tech. Again, please do subscribe, rate us, review us on iTunes or SoundCloud or wherever you get your podcast of choice. Hey Chris, if somebody wanted to follow you, where might they be able to find you?
You can check out my personal website, www.chrispowell.co, or if you want to follow me online on Twitter or Instagram or medium.com, I'm at MNMLTEK. That's Minimal Tech. I'm so minimal, I don't like vowels that much.
You're gonna say that?
How about you, AJ?
You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm at AJ Barse. Or if you want to check out my photography, take a look at 500 Pixels, 500px.com/AJ Barse. Or if you want to support me in what I do in photography, take a look at Patreon, patreon.com/AJ Barse. And if you become a Patreon patron, every month I give kind of different rewards based off of patronage. And you get the inside scoop of things that we're doing, such as this video or other things that I'm working on as a photographer here in Bellingham.
Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on BPM Tech.